but like a lot of the songs that you know and you have heard it like 1,000 times, it probably didn't know that there is a music video existed in the world because we're not playing as much on TV.
Maybe define golden age. If we're talking about budget, then yes. I think budget has shrunk quite a lot since the real golden age.
I love limitation. I love limitation on the budget. I love limitation by the artist. I love everything that can frame us in a certain work area that allow us to create in the limitation.
Hello and welcome to Connected. I'm Tomasz Koper sitting in for Divya Gopalan. Remember the times when music labels could afford to hire Martin Scorsese to direct Michael Jackson's Bad? Or drop $5 million on Madonna's Express Yourself music video, an homage to Fritz Lang's classic film Metropolis? Well, I hate to break it to you, but times have changed, and with them, the way we enjoy music. Take a look at this. Streaming audio from services like Spotify takes out about a third of the total time people spend listening to music these days. Close behind with another third is streaming music videos on the likes of YouTube and TikTok. So to help us understand how our changing habits are affecting the music video industry, we welcome director Remii Huang joining us from Tokyo and Cheng speaking to us from New York. They both got their start making music videos before branching out into other fields. Remii, I would like to start with you because I would love to know more about your journey that took you from directing music videos to directing the Netflix show Let's Talk About True.
You know, being able to do narrative is always kind of the dream or the goal per se. And so when I started out doing music video, I was doing a lot of narrative music videos. So most of the music videos that I've done are, a lot of it is storytelling. And I think storytelling in music video, it's kind of like, silent films in a way. So it's a really good practice because film is, a lot of it is about show not tell. And so when you are telling the story without, relying on the dialogue, it's actually a really good practice. Someone who with the script came to me and I saw the script and I thought it was really interested and it was just at first it was just like the first episode. I think it was like a 10 episode synopsis. So when I saw it, I thought it was a very interesting topic. And yeah, I kind of jumped into development with them. And that's kind of how it all started.
Well, we'll hit on narratives and how music videos are resonating with those in just a second. But Cheng, I want to hear from you. How did you get started in the industry?
So I started off with very underground independent artists asking me to do music videos. And at that time, I think I just about to finish school and I already started making music videos on my own behalf. And I had the urge to make music video, I think, sitting in my heart for many years. So when there is an independent label reached out to me, I immediately said yes. And that was a start, which allowed me to work with some friends from cinema schools, which is not from my school. My school is more like a design background. And I learned a lot from them through the craft of filmmaking. And everything kind of just started with making films with friends.
Well, I know you were also doing visuals at live gigs, at live concerts. And for our viewers who might not be, super familiar with what goes into a music video, because for a lot of people, I assume it's just some visuals that go with the music, right? How is that different, just sort of putting visuals to live music or just music in general to actually making what we can call a music video? What's the difference there?
So at first, when I was making concert visuals, it was for Soda Green, this brand, and in Taiwan. So I think it's very obvious that we couldn't really take over what's happening on the stage. So we're basically designing supporting materials in the backgrounds of the LED screens. And from a point of creating and designing and arts, I believe they come from a very similar spot. You use colors, you use all design materials. Both formats were all working with music very directly. And what stands out from the concert visual, I think, is very, very directly working with what the music is playing at that moment. So the effect and the impact and the color and the tempo has to go with what's happening at that moment on stage.
Well, making music videos is an opportunity for many directors, like our guest Remii, to get a foothold in the industry and even start directing feature films. Think David Fincher or Michel Gondry. We asked two renowned Taiwanese music video directors about how they got their start.
我就想，哦，好不容易抓到拍摄 MV 的机会，那我一定要把它那个胡搞瞎搞一番这样。哦，那次预算大概5万块台币而已，我们就借由他们，然后把我们的这股对影像热情能量发挥出来的。
It earned him the nomination for Best Music Video at the Golden Melody Awards.
我以为这样就会被看到这样，然后我以为这样哦，从此之后我是不是可以一直拍 MV， 然后靠拍 MV 为生这样？但很显然没有。我们有去参加颁奖典礼嘛？因为我们自己都觉得，应该会中吧。我记得颁奖的空档的时候，因为他们通常都有破口，然后我们就去外面抽烟这样。 结果我们在抽烟的过程当中，他就把那个奖颁完了，这样也提醒我们自己啊，这就是一个过程。你以为你准备好了，你以为你付出了全力，你就应该要换得什么东西，可是其实不一定这样。
Just like Cheng, director Ing Cheng-hao's success came years after his first award recognition. It was his persistent work that eventually propelled him to the next level. In 2019, this trilogy of music videos opened a door for Ing to fulfill a dream that he had given up on, to become a filmmaker. The videos caught the eye of an influential executive producer.
他就不知道为什么突发奇想，心血来潮就打开 YouTube 去看一些 MV 这样子，突然间跳到浪流连，他就很认真的看完。看完那个 MV 之后，他马上重播，要那个陈伟豪导演一起认真的看一下这个 MV。 他们反复看了几次吧，他们就觉得，这个 MV 他们看见了叙事的可能，角色的迷人，还有一种独特的，大家不是说那台湾的美学嘛，对，有一个风格在里面，他们才来询问的。
Ing joined the team and later got the opportunity to direct his first feature film, Man in Love. It was a huge success in Taiwan and hit 52.9 million USD box office worldwide. This, coupled with major award recognitions, Ing soon raised his profile and became an influential figure in the film industry.
You can watch the full version of this video feature on our YouTube channel or the TaiwanPlus website. So, Cheng Kai, I want to ask you, do you think making music videos is a good way for creators to showcase their styles, despite budgets for those being more limited compared to, let's say, a film or a show?
When Mu Chen was talking about the first music video, it started all with like 50,000 Taiwanese dollars. I kind of started with the similar amount like that. And what I do is I like to limit what we do, and I love limitation. I love limitation on the budget. I love limitation by the artist. I love everything that can frame us in a certain work area that allow us to create in the limitation. And also, like, I believe nowadays that creating music videos in a more simpler ways, for example, we can just use one type of style that goes throughout the whole music video, that this style is very cohesive with the music itself. And I can just bring to the audience that this is what I think of this music, and this can go, like, this short we could cut it into 15 seconds and still works with this music. And I would ask me whenever that I'm choosing one element, is this gonna work for the idea? Is this gonna work for the story? Is this format gonna work? I consider very beautiful images because what's been shot, it's more important than the tools that we use to create, or some other expenses that can come with the production.
Well,
so
as someone who's also in production, I have to agree to disagree on the limited budgets. I actually don't like as many limitations, but I know that they can be stimulating, finding workarounds. But I want to hit on what you said with the format being consistent throughout a music video, because it's easier to cut out like small bits. I assume for social media, for TikTok, this is how people gain traction these days. Remii, does all that mean, the limited budgets, the fact that a lot of things are optimized for social media, does that mean that the golden age of music videos is over?
You know what? I don't quite think so. That's kind of like, saying, well, maybe define golden age. If we're talking about budget, then yes. I do think budget has shrunk quite a lot since the real golden age, which I sometimes I do agree with what Kai say, that having a limited budget can it kind of squeeze out some stuff from you that it forces you to think a certain way, and that sometimes can surprise you. But then again, I also agree to disagree on the part where this is actually a good thing, because you want it to be, because when I first started out, I was also doing a lot of videos with very small crew. It could be just me and 3 other friends, and then we just kind of drove out and everything natural life. But then as you getting older, and people's got to pay rent, blah blah blah, you kind of like, you want a good budget so you can pay your crew right. And yeah, so like TikTok videos and stuff like that, I do think it does affect. But then that's kind of like saying, when VR first came out and everybody was saying that, cinema is going to be gone. I don't think it will be gone. I think the budget will shrink, but then it will still be there because it's just a different type of medium.
Well, speaking of the golden age of music videos potentially ending, there is a group of people here in Taiwan who seem to defy that opinion that music videos are a dying art. In fact, the inaugural Golden Wolf Music Video Awards took place in Taipei just last week. We spoke to the team behind the event, and this is what they said.
我觉得他脑筋有问题，好不好？这件事情其实是很辛苦的一件事情。然后我们都知道，殷正豪导演其实是一个工作很多的人。
第一个念头，我觉得好啊，很棒啊。再来就想说，你怎么会有空啊？
South Street，
大家都觉得我们蛮疯的嘛，就是这件事情绝对就是吃力不讨好，那你一定会被骂，根本没有赚任何钱，你还要贴钱，你还要到处跪人欠人情，正常人类是不会想要做这件事的，很蠢，很笨，但是非常有意义。我也是期许说，奖项起来之后，每一年都有一个讨论，今年度的 MV 的机会。
This is the Golden Wolf Music Video Awards, Taiwan's first event honoring talent across the music video industry. Previously, recognition for the best music video only existed as a category under the Golden Melody Awards, an event which primarily celebrates the music industry. In the early 2000s, with the rise of top-tier mandopop artists and the launch of YouTube in 2005, Taiwan's music video industry reached its peak.
台湾的高峰期大概是在2000年到2010年左右，然后这个期间其实为什么说它是高峰期？你可以去想，现在还有很有影响力的台湾的歌手有谁？好，周杰伦、五月天、蔡依林，这些人都是出道20几年的歌手，然后他们的萌芽期大概就是那个时间，大家愿意投入很大的资源去运作这样子的 MV， 然后让大家所看到这样。
With the rise of TikTok and AI, no one can confidently predict the future of music videos in this fast-changing industry.
以前所有的钱几乎要砸在 MV，MV 是唯一的出口，但现在 MV 不是唯一的出口。再加上短影音的兴起，所以有没有可能未来从音乐到 MV， 不要说预算了，就是连规格都会开始的变成越来越短，然后直接讲重点。
这些短影音，他们搭配着音乐。这些算不算是 MV？ 我们现在没办法定义它，因为我们都把它称之为短影音。可是你去想那个形式，那其实不就是也是影像搭配音乐吗？只是因为它跟我们本来的 MV 的样子长不一样，所以我们就没有把它当成是 MV 来看待。可是有可能这个世代或者是接下来的世代里面，这个就是主要 MV 长的样子啊。
Cheng believes the industry will become more polarized from budgets to style.
我觉得以后的趋势会是高价的 MV， 它当然还是会有，而且会越来越多钱。然后低价 MV 会很多，中间预算规模的 MV 其实会越来越少，因为中间预算 MV 拍出来的东西可能就比较没有特色。
Once again, you can watch the full version of that video on our YouTube channel or the TaiwanPlus website. So, Remii, what do you make of the Golden Wolf Music Video Awards?
I think it's great. It's actually quite interesting because me and some of my friends who also do music videos, we've been talking about how in the States or in like Berlin has Berlin Music Video Award, and there's quite a lot of other awards for music video in the States as well. And coming back to Taiwan, and when I started first doing music videos out here, I'm like, oh, there's not really there's no music videos award. There's one award that they give out at the Golden Bell for the best music video, but that's like the only recognizable award out here in Taiwan for music videos. And so we were always talking about it, but no one really wants to do it because Director Ng just said in the video, it is a lot of work, and it's very time consuming, and everybody being freelancer filmmakers, to kind of like put that time out there in order to create this for the music video industry. I think I give props to that. And I think the award is great. I think it's gonna make a lot of the people, the talents behind the video, like the DP or the gaffer, the production designer, stylist, and all these other key department people, for them to be seen, because it's doing music videos in Taiwan can be really hard, because we are working with limited budgets. So a lot of times we work, our work is driven by passion, and people are putting a lot of times and hard work in this. So I think it's very important that there's an award for these people to be seen and recognized.
Cheng, what are music videos used for nowadays if they're no longer sort of driving album sales? So what's the point for like a label or an artist to make and put out a music video? How do they use them differently?
Oh, that's a really good question, because I've definitely, not just now, but like a lot of the songs that and you have heard it like 1,000 times, it probably didn't know that there is a music video existed in the world, because we're not playing as much on TV. A lot of the songs blow up because of these short videos and not because of the music video. That really made me sometimes doubt what I do best in as a music video. And yeah, so sometimes I really think this question to myself, like, am I making this for you to sitting in front of the laptop or your big screen to like watch it for like 3-4 minutes? Am I really allowed to do that in this era? And am I having the privilege to present this to you in this long time? but then this question is a question to the artist who creates, and we definitely are facing this new challenge where I really want you to sit down and watch this. And so I gotta bring my game to another level for sure. That's a new challenge. And if I can create something that you're gonna crop it, you're gonna edit it into a 30 seconds and it still looks great, you know, that I will be very happy to see that. You know,
well, Remii,
you can, yeah.
Remii, does all this mean that we're sort of going back to the roots of the industry, focusing more on music with visuals, like this whole attention-grabbing visual side being now sort of more of a backseat kind of thing, or is it still mainly visuals, or visuals in the first place and then music sort of somewhere in the background there?
Well, I think in music videos, music is kind of always the first. Even when we're doing narrative, a lot of time, well, at least for me, a lot of time the story, even though it might not, we might not see the instruments and stuff like that, but a lot of time the story itself, what you're trying to say is kind of, it's linked to the lyric of the music instead of the composing of the music. So but I do think the kind of like fashion, like trends, it kind of changes, like now a lot of the young people are going back to the the 90s style, and then when it comes in fashion. And for music video, what I thought was really interesting, because back in like the 90s, there was a lot of music video that's kind of more about visual. And then for a period of time, narrative music video seems to be kind of like the new trend. And then people are like, you kind of get, I guess, audience get sick of looking at the same style. And then for a period of time, narrative was kind of like the popular thing. And then it went back to, again, more about being visual and concept and how it intertwines with the music. I feel like that could slowly fade out, and more the music video where it's more about visual could probably come back in again. But that's the kind of the big idea. But when it's about visual, it kind of still changes. Style changed. Like the visuals in '90 and the visuals right now in 2024, it's completely different. And yeah, so I think my answer to that question is that it's kind of like a cycle. It could come back, and you could be, it could be gone. So that's how I feel.
Well, speaking of things that are coming, possibly to stay, but maybe they'll go as well at some point. Cheng, I know you are using AI tools in your work. So how are you using them? And do you think that this will become a trend in the music video industry?
I think it is already a trend, which I do not believe that AI can deliver the final product yet. But as we see nowadays, the Sora came out and the visual was stunning. Was terrified by the ability of artificial intelligence can deliver such fine quality of video that just described by text and prompt. But now I currently still only use AI tools to develop the director's treatment during the pre-production process, because back in the days, I spent lots of time trying to find a perfect reference visual for the certain shots that I want to express. And I find AI tools is not as efficient now, but it can get to the final outcome that you want to get pretty closely. I would say last time I used it, it goes to that vibration probably 70%. And I can explain it to the artist that this is the vibe that we're looking for. This is the color, this is the framing, or this is the atmosphere.
I guess storyboarding is a dying profession, and that's probably the first to go. Before we go, I also want to ask Remii about AI tools. Do you use them, and how do you think they will impact the industry?
No, but I want to. There's just so, technology is evolving like crazy, and I really don't have time to catch up. It's freaking me out a little bit, but I really do want to. I think it could be a really great tool. It could save some time for sure, and I'm sure it can also spark new idea. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to use them yet.
Well, it's going to be real exciting to see where music videos go from here. And hopefully we'll have talented people like our guests today at the helm and driving those changes. Once again, thank you to Remii Huang joining us from Tokyo and Cheng Kai speaking to us from New York. And to our viewers at home, if you've enjoyed today's episode or have anything you would like to add to the dialogue, join the conversation on our social media. Thank you for sticking around, and remember, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay connected.